What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Knockout Sessions. It's your boys, Julio and Milton, coming off that big fight yesterday.
Big fight? When the fight was announced, you were like, audition. Now you want to use the word.
Nah, I was being sarcastic. I was just appeasing to the fans here. Yeah, no, it was a tune-up.
So, just to get right into it, because obviously Jaime Munguia was talk of the town last night. But one thing we forgot to mention before on the Munguia preview was the fact that he ended up switching coaches.
Yeah, what a big plot twist.
So I didn't hear about this until Friday when I was listening to the Chris Mannix podcast, and he interviewed Freddie Roach. And that's where I kind of found out that the reason why Munguia ended up having to switch coaches was because apparently Eric Morales is pursuing some type of political career now and wasn't going to have the time to fight with Munguia, even though he actually was present last night at the fight. But overall, what do you think about Freddie Roach now beating Munguia's corner?
I have a soft spot for Freddie Roach because
100%.
You know, one of the GOATs, trained
multiple GOATs.
You know,
Goto.
Well, he trained multiple GOATs, but he's one of the GOATs of coaching.
Oh yeah. I think he meant like,
if not, maybe to be honest, maybe the GOAT.
Yeah.
You know, like he's a great trainer to go by. I don't know what that means for Munguia as far as like his style goes. I saw a little bit more head movement early on, and he abandoned it.
Yeah, because we definitely saw Freddie really. I think I heard him multiple rounds when they were zooming in on the corner of Munguia. Freddie Roach really asking for that head movement. Yeah. But technically it's the first fight.
They're barely gelling, and it was probably one of those like scenarios where Eric was probably like, dude, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna be in your corner, but I trust Roach with you.
And I mean, overall, we saw a lot of improvement in Munguia with Eric Morales. It's very interesting to think of where Freddie Roach could take Munguia, because Munguia became a way better offensive fighter with
very volume dependent.
Yeah, and in reality, that's Munguia's never been known for his defense, but that's really became his defense with a lot of offense. And so far, it's worked out for him. But if you now look back to Derevyanchenko and John Ryder, he gets clipped a lot still.
His chin was a magnet for those uppercuts yesterday by Ryder.
And the fucking hooks. You know, fucking. This is what I'm thinking, because if you saw like at least in the second half of the fight, where John Ryder kept leaning back, checking him, leaning back, checking him.
Oh, that's a Canelo special.
I was about to say that.
That's a Canelo special. Because Ryder's literally British Canelo with probably just
worse defense,
and not enough head hop and like he's basically what Canelo was like 15 years ago. You know, but
those chin checks, I mean, it's hard, and it's kind of the same concept that I always talk about. Even Benavidez, like it's hard for me to believe that these guys will not get bullied by Canelo.
Yeah,
you know, like yes, they got a lot of volume. Him and Benavidez have a lot of volume. They, you know, they overwhelm their opponents with volume that eventually they're just breaking them down slowly. You know, and like you said, like Munguia looked good in the beginning. He looked like he had a different game plan, and then
went right back to habits. But like you said, it's normal, new coach. It's one of those things that they're gonna have to polish, which is why, even though Munguia beat Ryder, he is not ready for who De La Hoya wants Munguia to fight.
Yeah, because even Munguia wasn't confident enough to say Canelo's name. And hey, look, my hat's to Munguia, because out of a lot of fighters, I don't think he's scared, but I do think he acknowledges that he has not been put up with a lot of top tier fighters. So he still shows a lot of respect for Canelo. Because even after Chris Mannix asked him, like,
begged
him, you know, even then, like, Munguia kind of stayed quiet. Like, he was processing, wanting to make sure that he was saying the right words.
Yeah.
And showed a lot of respect for Canelo. He was like, hey, it'd be an honor to share the ring with you. And even though Benavidez does the same thing, but Benavidez is already asking for that fight.
He's thugging it now.
Yeah, he's thugging it. But yeah, in reality, like, obviously Munguia looked good, but do you think this is enough to say he deserves the Canelo fight? Because there's one thing for him just to fight him next and like cool, like you know, you showed out and did something Canelo didn't, but is it enough to deserve it? Is he deserving of the fight?
So I'll say no, not in May, and for numerous reasons. And I'll start with this. Well, number one, De La Hoya said in the press conference, and I'm sure you saw it as well. He wants the Canelo fight, but in September.
100%.
And that maybe I agree with if Canelo fights Benavidez and me.
Okay.
Number two, the reason I feel like Munguia's not quite ready for Canelo is because he hasn't, like you said, he hasn't had the cachet for it yet. And I personally would like to see him against Caleb Plant first.
Okay. That's a good fight. Because I know we mentioned this, like, slick boxer, just kind of see how he does with the slick boxer. But God, I think a dream fight now is Benavidez Munguia, bro.
I wouldn't be against
but like I think that's why I say I think a dream fight because if they don't fight now, it wouldn't be until Munguia decides to move up again.
Benavidez called out Munguia. Basically said it's an easy knockout.
Which I love that Benavidez starts stirring that little pot because in reality, I think even though
he's setting up a plan B.
Yeah, because look, even though Benavidez is a 2-time champion at 168, right?
3-time.
No, he still has he hasn't received the WBC belt. Canelo's still undisputed.
But he's won the WBC interim belt 3 times.
I mean,
come on, that's not bad.
Talking about the main belt.
The main belt, no, he doesn't have.
Yeah, he's a 2-time main holder of the title, right? So he's at 168. And if you look back at Benavidez' last couple fights, and if you look back at Munguia's last couple fights, they're very similar. Like, you know, Benavidez' last 2 fights was Boo Boo and Plant. You know, ex-champs.
2 slick boxers.
2 slick boxers, right? You look at Munguia, he has Derevchenko and John Ryder. That
2 brawlers.
2 brawlers, right? But beyond that, like, both their resumes look pretty weak. Come on, David Lemieux, really? Really? You want to throw away David Lemieux? Fine.
Anthony Durrell. Come on.
Okay, 4-2. 4-2, fine. I'll give you 4-2.
Really, if you're going to compare the last 2, you're really going to compare Caleb Plant and Boo Boo Andrade to John Ryder and
No. What I'm trying to say is those are as good as they get for each one. That's what I'm saying. Like, their resumes is not that great, is what I'm trying to say, right? But they both have very similar styles.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
I would say Benavidez' defense is a little better.
A little bit, but
he puts his hands up.
Yeah, but I think Munguia's combos and footwork is better than Benavidez.
Yes, but he's a lot more sloppier at landing those punches. Benavidez is a lot more precise.
Okay, but Munguia can be more powerful.
I think you took offense to this. I think we have what he likes.
My whole point of this is, like, in reality, like, at where they stand, because the main reason why I think a lot of people won't want Munguia next for Canelo is because Munguia's just moved up to 168, right?
New coach.
The new coach is irrelevant. What I'm saying is that he hasn't seemed to be doing enough to deserve the Canelo fight, where Benavidez has been on like this fucking...
Well, yeah, he's fought the top 5 ranked fighters compared
at
to
168, right? That's what I'm saying. But in reality, the resumes are very similar overall, is what I'm trying to say. So even if you gave Munguia to Canelo, it's still not a bad fight. And I'm saying this now. Listen to me now. Because this is where all the Canelo haters are gonna fucking talk shit. Because even if Canelo takes on Benavidez, based on Munguia's performance, I guarantee you people are gonna start talking shit saying Canelo's ducking Munguia now because he did something that Canelo did.
If you're Canelo, you handle that, you take that. But you go fight Benavidez. That becomes
okay, but and then vice versa, if he ends up fucking taking on Munguia, all the Canelo hitters are gonna say he's still scared of Benavidez. No matter what, Canelo's not gonna win in this situation. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, yeah.
Like, Canelo will never fucking be a fan favorite.
Let me offer you this possible path of destruction for Canelo.
Benavidez Munguia, the winner takes on Canelo, and then Canelo just fucking fights Charlo. Done.
Retcon. Anyways. Canelo Benavidez in May, right?
Okay.
Right, hear me out. I'm looking at a big picture here.
I stay looking at big pictures, but I'm just realistic.
I'm looking at the ocean. Canelo
I'm looking at the galaxy.
I'm looking at the multiverse. Canelo Benavidez in May.
Okay.
The next month after that is supposed to be Bivol Beterbiev. If Canelo can just dispose of Benavidez real quick off that list.
Benavidez Munguia, if Canelo wins.
If Canelo wins, you can do Benavidez Munguia. Canelo versus the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev, September.
And then the winner of Benavidez Munguia and the winner of the winner fights the winner of the winner.
We'll get to all that when we get to all that. But is that not a
I mean, yes.
GOAT status path?
Yes. But just be honest with yourself that if Canelo pursues that road,
He could lose, yes.
no.
Yeah,
That's not what I'm saying.
No,
No, I'm not saying that. Like,
No, it's a Beterbiev problem.
okay, Julian, listen to me. All I'm trying to say is, based on yesterday's performance, if Canelo pursues that career, most likely he will not fight Munguia, and he will always have that Munguia.
That's not on Canelo. That's Munguia's fault for being so slow in ascending. He's 27. What was Canelo doing at 27?
Fucking being champ after champ.
You know what I'm saying? That's not Canelo. Canelo, here's a...
See,
to go back to
33, 27. That's, I think, around the time that he was fighting Triple G, right?
Boom. So, here's the thing. To go back to your point, for the Canelo haters, you guys hate Canelo because he's not taking these fights on
Your schedule.
Your schedule and on the fighters who are coming up to schedule. No, Canelo wasn't like 27 asking for, who was the top guy at the time?
Probably Triple G.
And he was asking for
we were talking about junior middleweight and middleweight. So at the time,
it was Triple G.
At the time, it was mainly Boo Boo, Triple G,
Lemieux, and Billy Joe.
Yeah, Billy Joe.
And he fought about 2 out of those 4. And those other 2 actually fought Benavidez. A lot older though. But still.
But see, this is the thing though, because this is what I don't understand about just people in general, right? Who's the one who's risking more delaying these fights? Canelo. Why is that? Because he's taking on more damage to his body. He's getting older. He's getting slower, right? And all these other cats that they want him to fight, they're younger. And the problem here is that besides Benavidez, right? And besides Benavidez, because Benavidez is constantly asking for the big fights. I'll give Benavidez that. But Benavidez is the one that's becoming more and more dangerous as he gets older, because if he doesn't get the Canelo fight next, there's a big likelihood he will probably pursue a David Morrell, because he said that. He said, I want David Morrell and Canelo before I leave to 175.
Yeah, dude, he knows he's going to be a light heavyweight.
So, at the end of the day, it's like, who is more likely to lose in the long run? Canelo. But, I've always said, who's going to show greatness is Canelo, because if Canelo delays all these fights, Benavidez gets more experience in his belt and still takes him out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that goes back to the point that we're both trying to make. I think we're both kind of coinciding, but different routes. If you guys want Canelo to be fighting these guys, these cats need to go fight each other too.
Exactly.
Like, you know, they gotta show it. You don't just show up, become cute, and you have a sexy style, and you're like, all right, Canelo. Like, if I show up and I win 10 fights in a row, 10 knockouts, and 2 of those were Caleb Plant and Boo Boo Andrade, I don't want y'all telling me, oh, go fight Canelo. No, like, I still want to fight a Benavidez before I go and get a Canelo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's a rite of passage here. And it's not just like, oh, there's a new cat, Canelo. You know, like, that's literally what it is.
But, so based on what you're saying, it doesn't sound like you would want to see next Munguia Benavidez. So if we remove Canelo and Benavidez out of the picture, what would... Oh, you already said Plant.
I was going to say Plant or Big Charlo.
Yeah, Plant, Big Charlo.
Boo Boo.
At this point, I think fucking Berlanga is terrified of Munguia. There's no shot Berlanga...
He fights in a couple weeks.
I know, and there's no shot that Berlanga sees Munguia's performance is like, I want that next. Because technically Berlanga wanted John Ryder before John Ryder fought Canelo.
Yeah.
And if Berlanga would have done anything remotely close to what Munguia did, you could have argued you know, a little better, he would have probably even put his name in the. Damn, bro, fucking launch code or what?
I don't know.
He would have probably put his name in a potential fight against Canelo, but there's no shot right now. Fucking Berlanga deserves his name be mentioned next to Canelo at all.
Yeah.
If anything, Munguia, but I don't think Berlanga is gonna name Munguia at this point.
I don't think so either. But at the same time, like I said, he fights in a couple weeks. If that man calls out Munguia,
okay, respect.
we stirring that up, baby. We stirring that up. We've been asking, we've been telling y'all, we've been begging for that fight.
Yeah, and Berlanga this is Berlanga's opportunity to make a huge statement, because if I'm not wrong, after this next fight, he has one last fight with Matchroom. And who does? Berlanga?
Okay, yeah.
He has one last fight with Matchroom, and if he can make a big statement, I'm pretty sure Eddie Hearn's going to push hard, because at that point, Canelo's contract would be up with PBC.
Oh, and Berlanga can be Munguia. You know what happens next.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So he has a strong path or case to get the Canelo fight at that point. But then again, if Bivol ends up winning the fight against Arthur, he's a Matchroom fighter too. So technically, Canelo's path is going to be leading right back to Matchroom.
Canelo can do whatever shit he wants.
Yeah. So at that point, if Bivol wins, Canelo most likely will get the 175 shot at Bivol. Depending on how that goes, maybe Berlanga gets that fight next. But for sure, Berlanga needs to take on Munguia or take on Plano Charlo himself.
Yeah.
You know?
Basically, the path of greatness to get to the Benavides Canelo is to plant Charlo and Boo Boo if you're Munguia and Berlanga.
Yeah.
Because those are the tiers. You got the two guys up here. You have the three basically gatekeepers. I hate to use that word. That's kind of what they are, to really be honest. And then you got the two young upstarts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Munguia. There's a lot that's still going on. I think Canelo by mid-February is really going to announce what his next fight's going to be.
Yeah, because that's around the time frame he needs to kind of start getting ready for camp.
Yeah, and all the holidays are done. Like, he's done, like, kind of like celebrating whatever he is. I mean, Australia is beautiful, Canelo. I get it, but we kind of miss you, baby. We need you, Big Red, because we have a lot of answers or questions that we need answered. But still sticking on the boxing, we go from the big dogs
to little tiny little chihuahuas,
to little pit bulls out here. Reportedly, we have Juan Francisco Estrada, also known as Gallito, versus Jesse Bam Rodriguez planned for summer of 2024.
The problem here is your favorite word. It sounds like Gallito might want a tune-up fight for the summer, though. How does that make you feel, Julio?
I wish we could just like grab the word tune up and just erase it off like planet Earth. Because like I hate that word now. It depends on who he fights.
Who the tune-up is?
You know, like
so. What do we got? That would put us at 115. Because in reality, who's worthy? Like I think at this point, Gallito maybe taking on Julio Cesar Martinez, but that would mean Julio Cesar Martinez had to move up to get his ass
and
again.
Another loss for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I feel there's certain. If you're there to be great, that's great, and I don't blame you. Like if you're gonna keep losing though, but when you get to a point where we kind of look at you like a Tony Ferguson, where you look at you like, dude,
yeah,
like, we don't want you to lose no more.
Yeah, because I don't feel like there's going to be a lot in the pot that's going to be worthy for fans to be like, okay, you know, Gallito, like, this is cool. I like this fight, you know, because I understand why he might want to get a fight in, because obviously Bam Rodriguez is on a fucking tear right now.
Oh, he's a bad boy.
You know, but I don't know, why didn't you keep yourself active? This goes back to activity. Why are we always fucking taking so much time off?
I mean, I'll throw some names out there. We're gonna Chocolatito's not gonna happen. That's not a tune-up.
Nah.
Kenta Nagagawa, maybe.
Bro, at this point, there's really nobody on the list that's gonna impress me more than Bam.
Sarangvasai? But Estrada's already done that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this guy's a go. Like, he's gone through the majority of these guys already at some point.
I mean,
exactly. There's nothing. So we might as well just fucking book the Bam Rodriguez fight.
No, yeah, I agree. Just go straight for it. But I think Estrada's really gonna want that tune-up fight. Like if they're trying to do it in summer, it's because he's trying to fight like in April or May probably. So and that by summer, it's probably gonna be like in August.
For the Bam Rodriguez fight?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
but then at that point, like, okay, so if Gallito decides to go that route, I think Bam should just pursue one last fight at 112, get another belt against Julio Cesar Martinez.
Yeah, why not? That'd be a fun fight. It's a risk fight, but fight.
Yeah, but like, I know we've kind of mentioned this before, but like,
he beats Julio.
Yeah, because he has no defense. Literally, like, I know as far as like offense goes, Julio Cesar Martinez has a lot of pop.
Yeah,
but so does Bam. You know what I'm saying?
What if Sonny Edwards went up and fought?
That would be good for Sonny because he gets himself an opportunity to potentially showcase and possibly win, get himself a payday. But then that would mean that Bam would move up again. Do we really want to see that rematch?
Oh, I mean, no. But at the same time, you know, those are the risks you got to take. You know, that just depends on what they offer. There's not a lot of for Gallito to go based on any good tune-ups. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Because if he's going to have a tune-up, he's going to have a tune-up. We're going to look at the name and go, like, what park did these promoters going to pick this guy up at? Yeah. But as far as a sexy tune-up, those are probably the best names that we can think of. Now, as far as the fight itself goes, Estrada, Rodriguez, how do you see it?
I think Bam's too good.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think at this point Bam's shown.
I don't know if he's gonna steamroll, but
no, yeah, but I think he's shown multiple times that he is a very unique, once a time type of fighter.
Once in a generation.
Yeah, once in a generation fighter. You know,
he is.
So I don't know. At this point, like I think Bam has a clear path for the most part, as far up to like 118, maybe 122.
Ooh, you want to hear this report?
Yeah.
Hearn says he's looking to make the fight with Estrada and Bam in Phoenix. Phoenix is becoming like...
I told you. Bring it back to Phoenix. I told you.
It's becoming the land of the small guys.
Bro, I mean, it makes sense. Bam has a huge following in the Mexican world. Gallito's pretty local. He's down the street.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like, Phoenix is actually... We'll give a shout out to our land here in Arizona.
Yeah, Munguia Ryder was here last night.
We got Valdez Wilson.
And then we had...
Benavidez fighting every other year here.
And then Navarrete Wilson.
So, like, thank you, UFC.
And we actually had Navarrete Oscar Valdez, too.
UFC has a lot of fixing to do with those skills in Phoenix. Hey. We haven't forgotten about what you did to Charlie Olives.
Hey, all I know, bro, is that UFC at least makes fighters fight each other, so...
Yeah, you don't want to get me going. But I think Bam does beat Gallito. I don't know dominantly. If he beats Gallito dominantly, we are looking at something super special.
Yeah, bro. At that point, it is as crazy as it sounds. I think that alone would already get him in the Hall of Fame. Bro, he took out 3 out of the 4 GOATs. Chocolatito would be the only one left.
He'll probably beat him too. If he beats Estrada in that manner.
Yeah, because the Chocolatito Estrada fucking fights have always been very close wars. So if you tell me Bam fucking steamrolls Estrada, like, might as well go for a Chocolatito, get your last payday,
and then go for a Nuye.
Oh, you know, he's that fucking... It's like 10 pounds again.
I know, but like, what if
it's not that bad because it's like going from 140 to 147.
Yeah, I mean, look at Charlo. He went for not Charlo. Who was it? Benavidez' brother, Jose. Yeah. He went from 147 to what is it, 160?
Yeah.
So
164, I think, because Charlo came in fast.
Oh yeah, he was. Big Charlo was fast. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm telling you, Bam goes and does that. We're not talking about Mayweather anymore. We're not talking about Pacquiao anymore. We're not talking about Sugar Ray Robinson anymore. We are talking about Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Mm-hmm. He might even be right there with like the Canelo at that age.
Mm-hmm. And that's scary because, well, not scary, but that's great because he's so young, bro. And
he hasn't even hit his prime.
Exactly. Like he will have so much room for improvement. And but in reality, it becomes how far up the scale can go at that point.
Do you peak early or do you go?
Yeah, because you're right. Like if he does beat Chocolatito and Estrada and anyway still at that 122, okay, let's make that fight. But anyway, so dominant that he's being talked to move up to 135, skip all those other weight classes and fight Tank, you know?
Yeah, at that point, if he was to beat Chocolatito and Estrada, I mean, your best bet is to go after, like, who?
Exactly.
I mean, just go become undisputed, honestly, at weight after weight.
Yeah, legit, because he's just going to become anyway, so just fucking get those fucking undisputed, be the first 4-time.
Oh my lord, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably gonna be the best case scenario.
But just to kind of switch it over to the UFC side, just for a little bit. So it sounds like we might have McGregor Chandler booked for UFC 300.
We talked about this in the last video. We jokingly talked about it.
Yeah, that we have nothing, so that fucking Dana's just gonna say, fuck June, let's just push you up to fucking April.
Yeah, like, I remember we said, what if we're just being trolled? And then we both laughed and said, McGregor Chandler.
Yeah, because it never made sense why McGregor announced that starting the year. And then we never really considered it when he announced it that, hey, McGregor's the biggest fucking troll in the world. Like, he just wants to fucking be head.
Chandler's gonna do whatever the hell McGregor wants.
And Dana never really confirmed or denied. Well, I think he did deny, right? That it wasn't happening in June.
It was like early in the year, like by New Year's, he was already saying like, oh, it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah,
so that's because I think Conor was also kind of like maybe trolling Dana.
Yeah, I don't know. But it'd be cool if now we get like a double headliner where maybe we see Izzy DDP or Alex Aspinall headlining along with Chandler and McGregor.
No, because UFC 300 only has room for one more slot.
Says who? I make those rules.
First of all, and we called it. We were correct, and it was obvious. The main card is going to consist of, I believe, 6 or 7 fights.
Okay.
So
one more beyond the main event.
Really?
Exactly. Like
one more. You want an 8-card main card?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you busy on that day?
Yeah, I want to sleep so we can wake up and have enough time to like mentally prepare ourselves.
All we have to do is instead of starting at 3, we'll start at 2 in the afternoon.
What? That's it. No. I don't. I think you're better off saving those fights. If you get Conor and Chandler, it's already a stacked event. Why do you want to put a quadruple headliner?
I mean, I guess just because apparently you hype up fucking UFC 300 because
it's the Super Bowl of UFC right now, but you're not going to do a quadruple headliner. You know they just announced that May is going to be in Rio de Janeiro. You know who you want as your headliner?
Who?
Chama, Alex Pereira.
I mean, yeah, that'd be cool. But then who's he gonna fight?
Oh, you got
Jamal Hill.
You got to throw in Jamal Hill there in the Wolves in Brazil. He might not make it out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Conor and Chandler has a.
Or maybe because DDP won.
You make that one in June in Africa.
That's what I say. Maybe that's the reason why fucking they're gonna take that June date for DDP Izzy, and then push McGregor back.
You know Dana's gonna pay them extra for.
And then you saying that we have it made Brazil, so there you go. I got your next 3 events going.
I did that. Yeah, okay. Let's just not get too excited though.
I mean, I'm not at this point. Like UFC 300's been. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Especially after UFC 299 got announced, like...
Yeah, but 300 is looking pretty more stacked now that they kind of rounded it out more. The one that's really just going to pass it, though, it would be a Conor-Chandler fight. And that's just because this could be... Imagine if Conor's last fight was at UFC 300. Because we never know with Conor. That's the whole, like, aura of this whole thing is, like... Well, what is Conor McGregor? Because we know what Michael Chandler is. He's a guy that's going to say yes to everything that Dana and Conor tell him. And he's going to go and explode in the first 2-3 rounds to go knock you out if it's a 5-rounder. And outside of that, like, he's just an action fighter. Like he's just a fun fighter to watch. But Conor is like, well, what are you? And on top of that, the reason we both agree that it makes sense if Conor and Chandler fight in April, Roadhouse. You know what I'm saying? Just getting released. I believe it's going to drop like March 27th or something like that.
So you got promos, you got hype.
if you're Connor, you're a businessman.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm all about my business.
if it makes money,
it
it makes sense. And when it comes to money, things get funny.
That's your quote of the day, guys.
So we'll see. Keeping our, things open, and other than that, we'll keep you guys tuned up for any other news that comes out this coming week. I'm sure it's going to be a lot more UFC 300 related, because I don't think Dana's too far off from announcing what's going to happen.
Yeah, because it's Sunday today. We're recording a little early. I guarantee we're going to have a lot of news coming up in the week when we record the second half of the video.
If you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, you'll get those kinds of announcements when they come out, because we go and post them. We go and post it on our stories. We post it in reels. We post it in posts. Go and follow us at Knockout Sessions on Instagram, KOSesh on X/Twitter, and TikTok.
Knockout Sessions.
It's that simple. So it's like, it's not, generate more, love more, like, share, subscribe, and, keep asking for more on the comment sections. Give us any ideas. Give us what you guys think. All right. See you guys next time. Later.